going on? Welcome to SDB.Trading, my first upload. My hopes here is just to kind of show the honest challenges of pursuing the dream of full-time day trading. Right now I'm a profitable Forex trader. I'm working on getting substantial profitability, substantial challenges underneath my belt so that I can do this full-time. You know, I still work. I don't have enough to support myself on this, and I just really want to show the journey. You know, I'm excited to see what the future looks like. You know, we can look back at this video 2 years from now and, you know, maybe my situation's different. I am full-time. I'm hopefully still learning a ton and being able to spread that knowledge onto other people. You know, I want to kind of just keep myself accountable through these videos, use this as kind of a journal, and just show the honest process. You know, I think there's a lot of people out there that start uploading when things are really good. You know, they already got that car, they got their house they've been wanting, and you know, it looks like the journey's so easy, but that's just not the reality. You know, I see a lot of the montages. You know, once they're already profitable, they'll put together a quick little 5-minute montage video of faking the grind, what it was. But it doesn't really capture what the grind what it really is. You know, no 6 a.m. Monday to Fridays, missing trades, not taking trades, losing trades, none of that. But we're going to see that here, and I'm excited to see the growth of myself. So we'll hop on over to the charts over a couple of trades over this week, one that I took, two that I missed or chose not to take, and I'll go over those and just my thought process with them. So the first opportunity I saw this week was on GU. This was yesterday on Wednesday. I am a reversal trader, so I like to trade high and low of day opportunities, and I typically like to find those in New York. So looking at price action for New York morning yesterday, we can see that New York swept this London low and had a really strong bullish move outside of it. There is an imbalance here created by Asia, which is a really nice cycle play, and it's holding. We can see multiple wicks bouncing off of it. So this is a strong fair value gap. Breaking down price on the 15 minutes as price is fractal. This, again, strong bullish momentum up. I don't have a 15-minute break of structure, which is fine because of how strong these candles are. Also, I'm not looking to get into a trade up here. The RR typically just doesn't work out. I enter on the 5-minute time frame every time. So breaking down on the 5-minute, I need to see this structure right here getting broken with momentum. I didn't see that. I did not see enough momentum with this candle to feel comfortable to take this fair value gap. To me, price is holding the structure here and potentially continuing down. We have this strong bearish candle down with a nice full body, and then it continues up. Many people that I know took a trade right here using this as structure, and that's fine. Personally, for me, I just need it to be clearer. So avoiding this original entry and watching it run to London high would have been my target. This would have been a 3R trade, absolutely beautiful. Sweep of London low and push up. We can see price continue up here on the 5-minute and just moon. I kind of feeling a little upset that I missed this entry, or maybe didn't take it in the moment, missed an opportunity up here for a continuation trade, which would have, I mean, realistically targeting up here would have left me with a 1R. Maybe I wouldn't have taken it just because I wasn't expecting price to skyrocket all the way up here to a 2R, and then it continued up even farther. that's just the reality of it. You know, I missed this trade, and then being stuck on the emotions of missing it down here, I also missed it up here. That's just the reality of it. You know, it's really hard to kind of compartmentalize these opportunities and move on. That's something I need to work on. Moving on, staying in the game, staying focused. You know, every NHL player misses a shot here and there. He can't spend the whole game dwelling on it. You know, there were still opportunities in the market. So yeah, ruminating on these trades is something I need to work on. In the same day, I was looking at NAS, US 100. If you trade CFDs, on the 4-hour, we can see it came in to a beautiful daily imbalance here. You know, this is really great. These are liquidity pools, and this is exactly where we want to see price react strongly out of. Again, being a reversal trader, I'm looking for London highs or lows to be taken, and we saw that here. We saw London get taken, plus Asia, beautiful double confirmation, and a really strong push out. NAS moves really quickly, so I like to trade that on the 5 or 3 minute, depending on whatever looks better. So going down to the 5 minute here, we can see London high getting taken, a push up, false move down, push up again, respecting these highs, and a strong push down. You know, a lot of people might think this is going to run away now. The move happened, but now it's left double tops, and this to me says price is probably going to come up here, take these. This is a liquidity draw right here, and reverse above here. And that's exactly what price did. We bounced off the 200 EMA, which I find is a very strong point on these index charts, and we blast through. Now here is where things get tricky. We are creating multiple double tops and creating liquidity up here. What I would like to see from this point is a sweep of these newly created highs for price to come down and sweep and then push down. That's not what we saw out of this chart on this day, unfortunately. It just left this liquidity and dumped. So myself, I unfortunately took a trade right here. Not really following my rules for break of structure. I think I probably felt some FOMO or some resentment about missing that GU opportunity. And I took an entry right at resistance. Now, I don't over risk. 2% is the most I'll ever risk. I'm really good at maintaining that aspect of my trading. It's just not worth me risking 5% to try to get a trade back. I've lost that way too many times. But I wasn't confident in this setup. This was a poor decision. So when I saw this candle coming up here, I got scared and I exited. I exited just before my stop loss for a negative, I think just below 1%. And it was a loss I didn't need to take because I didn't need to get in this trade. And then had I held it, been confident in my entry, I would have been okay with holding it to all the way down here. But it was a rushed, indecision trade. I got scared, took a loss, and watched it melt. So again, ruminating on trades is something I need to work on. And following my rules for breaks of structure. You know, I didn't take the break of structure on the GU trade. That was a better setup, but I took a less good break of structure on NAS and got bit for it. So it just shows the importance of having rules and sticking to them. So again on GU here, we see the reversal high of day setup play out. We have a beautiful 1 hour supply zone here, an inducement with the high on October 8th, getting the supply zone getting tapped into, inducement getting swept. This is a great indicator and confluence for a reversal here for me. We can see London high getting swept, a push up in New York, and a strong bearish momentous push down. This is a great looking setup on the higher time frames. Going down lower on the 15 minute, what kept me out of this position was this 15-minute candle right here. To me, this candle says indecision. This says that price isn't ready to break these lows as they're holding, and price will continue up to sweep New York high, potentially reversing then. This could have been a false move, as I see so often, to trap early sellers. So without taking a position yet, going down on the 5-minute, we see beautiful 5-minute PA. This setup here is exactly what you want to see. If you could see this across every time frame, all the way down to the 1 minute, you'd be golden. Price is fractal, but they don't show you exactly what price is doing the same on every time frame. The 1 hour is going to look slightly different, more clear than obviously the 5 and 3 minute. The 5 minute here, break structure right here, has a beautiful bearish momentous fair value gap created and a third beautiful bearish candle. But again, these lows are holding. We have a very bullish candle up into the fair value gap. This would be my entry had that 15-minute candle looked a little bit better. With 1 to 2 RRs, what I require for my trades, I probably would have got in right above this candle. Too many times I've been waiting for it to chase high into the fair value gap and I get left behind. I like to get in a little bit earlier and aim a little bit longer maybe. I would have tried to go for London low, very respectable TP point. But the 15-minute kept me out, and we didn't even get the full 2R on this at all. The London low was 1.5. I think we had to go to Asia low, even lower than Asia low for the 1 to 2, which realistically, had I entered this, I would have probably got out at right around here. 1 o'clock is when my absolute latest exit has to be. I'm not a swing trader. Too many times I've held trades over sessions and rollovers, and it just they gap up, they take me out, and it doesn't work for me. Also, I want to not move my stop loss anymore until I'm at least 2R, or if price is consolidating like it is here. So it's hard to say would I have had the patience and would I have gotten out, for a 0.4% or all the way at New York close for not just more than, 0.7%. Realistically, the RR wasn't really there for me in this trade. Had it melted, for sure it would have been. I don't think I would have got out at 1.6 or 1.7 that was here, just based on my rules. And yeah, these are the trades that I took and I missed this week. This is just a part of the process. Every week isn't going to be beautiful. It's not going to be profitable every week. You got to look on the macro scale, quarter-wise. I'm still positive in my accounts, which is good. And on to next week. Tomorrow's Friday. I don't typically trade on Fridays. I find price action to be not the greatest. Volume kind of dies out quick. So yeah, we're just going to reflect on what happened this week. I'm going to work on my rules for stop loss, and that, for me, I think that means reducing risk. I need to be comfortable with taking a full loss, and for me to do that, maybe it has to be a 0.5% risk now instead of 1.5 or 1%. I'm not in drawdown, but I've lost some of my profits over the last harsh summer months. So it's about building that confidence back up and taking smaller positions until, I get to a point, and then I'll go back to the 2% trades. It's not a race. It's it's a process. So yeah, this is all part of it, and I'll see you guys next week.